So we configured here VLANs. So VLAN in this switch, it's a server switch, and these all are the client switches. It's a client switch, and this one also client switch, and this one also client, and it's transparent switch. As we discussed, in server switch only the transfer, the propagate, it will be sent, and it's the VLAN information to switches, but it will be not sync. It will be not sync. It will be only transfer whichever the switch will got. And here we can modify. Here we can change. Here we can change the VLAN information. Entire thing we can do, but we can create entire thing. But those whichever we have created the VLAN information, it won't transfer. But now only server mode only. So guys, in earlier issue, it's actually VTP. So VLAN trunking protocol. And we created VLAN, but where is the trunk? What about the trunk? I have configured or not? So without trunking, the VLAN information won't carry. So we have a two types of access port and trunk port, right? Have we got the what is the requirement here in this lab? Have we got it or not till? So in 15 minutes we are doing some research. It is not working, but VTP stands for tell me.
VLAN trunking protocol.
We created VLAN. Then what about the trunking? We have created or not till? So that is what. So now check it here. Show running configuration. So whichever the ports are there. Fast Ethernet 0/1, no trunk. 0/2 also no trunk, and 0/3 also no trunk. So switch port, before that interface range fast Ethernet 0/2 to 0/1 to 3. We'll take entire port 1, 2, 3. And switch port mode. Which mode we have to give here?
Trunk mode.
Trunk. So Bhavana, this is the troubleshooting commands we have to use here. As I mentioned, VTP status. So this is a troubleshooting command. I just remind this kind of commands in real time. Also, it will be useful. And if you are using this some error you got in VLAN, show VLAN, whichever the VLAN brief, so you can which we have assigned the port, and this kind of troubleshooting commands we have to remember it. So wait for 30 seconds. Show spanning tree. So all are the forwarding ports. So now check here. We configured VTP only for this switch. We will configure entire switches enable. So wait for we got this error. We'll configure here trunk port config T switch port interface fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port mode trunk, and we'll configure here also switch port interface fast Ethernet 0/1 switch port mode trunk. Then it 0 by 1 to 3. Trunk. We have not configured yet. Till wait. So VLAN brief and check here. Show VLAN brief. Now create some VLAN. So interface trunk. Trunk. Show interface trunk. Make sure you should have to enable the trunk. So interface trunk. So VTP status. VLAN 599. 699. Got it? Entire VLAN in whichever we created just now, every VLAN information we got. So earlier issue is the trunk. We haven't enabled the trunk in between switches. So that is the reason. So now we here also we can check. So VLAN brief. So we got entire VLAN information where we created this this switch, server switch. Now check transparent set switch. So VLAN brief. So we have configured here 60, 50, and 40. And 10 also is there. That's own we created here. That is the reason. If you are creating some VLAN also here, so we'll create VLAN 777 and name 777. Even though you can modify the name, if you can give anything VLAN information, that VLAN information it will be not propagate to client or server. So VLAN brief, it will be not propagated. 777 is not there. And if you want to check here, show VLAN brief. So 777 is not there. So we created a transparent switch. Whichever the transparent switch we created, that information available on that switch only. Show VLAN brief. So make sure the whenever you are creating or transferring the VLAN information in between trunk port enable. If that it will be switch to switch, you should have to make sure you how to enable the trunk port, then only a VTP will work. Here you can create any VLAN apart from that. So sorry, I'm creating the VLAN something and VLAN 888 and name as a Even though you can create whatever you are modifying the name, entire thing, it will be deploy here. So VLAN brief. So just now I have created VLAN 888 in this switch. If you have multiple switches also, that will be deploy entire thing. If we here also, if you configure the trunk port, already it's a auto mode, it's a negotiation mode on. So that is the reason we got it now. So VLAN brief. You can check here. Here also we got. When we have not create trunk port on this, but with the help of DTP, it's a auto mode. So it's we created manually trunking here. So that is the reason in between trunk or form. So VLAN brief. So where we have created only it in this switch, server switch. So entire switches the propagate the VLAN information. This is what VTP. So here we have how many summary advertisement received and it sends entire thing will be happen here. You can check. This is all about the VTP. If you have any questions, ask me.